A chance meeting between old school friends. The simplest thing in the world. But it leads to a revival of the dare game.
Fee-fi-fo-fum, I sniff the whiff of a dare to come.
I beg your pardon?
You are Carol Main, aren't you?
Yes, at least I was. Oh, it's Enid. Enid Grover.
That's right.
Good heavens, what an extraordinary thing. How many years is it?
50.
Oh, imagine, we're 30.
I know, isn't it awful?
And school seems like another world.
It's still very vivid to me.
Is it? Oh, not to me. I remember odds and bits. I remember you.
Thanks. I suppose you're married, Carol?
Yes, I'm a doctor's wife.
Children?
2 boys, 7 and 10. What about you?
I'm not married.
Look, Enid, this is so fantastic meeting in the street like this. Have you time for a coffee?
Yes, I'd like that.
There's a place across the road. I've got loads of shopping to do, but I don't come up to the West End very often, but that can wait till afterwards. Sugar, Enid?
No, thanks.
Oh, sensible of you. Tell me, Enid, what are you doing now?
I'm on sick leave. I've been ill.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was wrong?
Nobody quite knew. It was politely called a breakdown. But I shall be back at work next week.
And your work?
I'm in the civil service. Home office, to be precise.
Still?
Why not?
I remember you going in for the exams when we were at school. Janet and Irene did too. But the last I saw them, they'd left.
Married, I expect.
Yes.
When one doesn't marry, Carol, one goes on working. I've never found anyone willing to support me.
But there's more to marriage than that, you know.
Really?
You haven't changed.
That's all you know.
You haven't, Enid. You were always too clever for me, and you still are. I still feel there's something behind quite ordinary things you say. Funny. I remember that about you. And when I've thought of you since, I've concluded that I imagined it. But I didn't. It's true. You still make me feel naive.
I was the naive one, surely.
You were the most level-headed of the lot of us.
Remember the dare game, Carol?
Fee-fi-fo-fum.
I sniff the whiff of a dare to come.
School's extraordinary. All those hours and hours of lessons and one doesn't remember a word of them. Yet silly things like the way Miss Legging spat as she talked, and those shapeless jumpers Miss Cumber used to wear, and our various scrapes and dares, all remembers them vividly.
Yes.
The worst dare I ever did was spilling that ink in Miss Wilkins' desk. Oh, there was an awful moment when I thought she'd guessed it wasn't an accident.
But you got away with it. I didn't get away with my worst dare, did I?
What was that?
Don't you remember?
We did so many things, didn't we? I've even forgotten some of my own dares.
But you haven't forgotten the ring.
Oh, no. No, that was pretty awful. Oh, but isn't it funny to look back on? We took ourselves so seriously, as if it mattered what happened.
She never believed me, you know.
What?
Miss Gordon, she never believed me. She made a remark on the day I left which showed that she still thought I was a thief.
Silly woman.
Why silly? No one told her otherwise.
I'm sorry, Enid. 15 years too late, I'm sorry.
So you do remember?
Yes.
Why did you pretend not to?
Guilty conscience. And then, when I dared you that day, I never really thought you'd do it. As soon as I'd said it, I wished I hadn't. Miss Gordon took off her ring, didn't she, and put it on the desk. Then she went over to the sink of the corner of the physics lab and washed her hands.
And you whispered to me our usual challenge. Fee-fi-fo-fum, I sniff the whiff of a dare to come. I dare you, Enid, to take Miss Gordon's ring. So I took it.
I wish you hadn't. There's something that's always puzzled me. When old Gordon began to make a fuss and asked where her ring was and if we'd seen it, why didn't you hand it over straight away? You'd done the dare. There was no reason to hang on to the ring.
I didn't have time to tell her.
Oh, surely.
No, that kid at the back, Lily Carr, she piped up with, Miss Gordon, I saw Enid Grover take your ring. Then Gordon accused me, and that was that.
Well, you denied it at first.
Panic. Then she found it in my pocket. And she didn't believe me. Well, she pretended to because she was scared of trouble. But she would have believed me if you'd spoken up and told her about the dare game.
Beastly little coward, wasn't I?
You wanted to hurt me.
Did I?
You know you did. Why?
Enid, I honestly don't know. Kids do things, don't they? Well, maybe I was jealous of you because you were cleverer than I was. Because you had a sort of power over me. I don't know. Come to that, there was nothing to stop you from telling Miss Gordon about the dare game.
I was too proud. I decided to let her think what she liked. I told her it had been done as a joke, and that was the truth.
You know, Enid, you're being a bit kinky bringing up all this stuff that happened when we were kids. What does it matter now?
I think when people do something wrong, like betraying a friend, it stays just as wrong however many years pass.
Maybe, but there's no need to go on brooding about it.
There was never any need for you to brood, was there? You got off scot-free.
So did you? After all, you did take the ring. It was awfully silly of you.
I had no choice.
Of course you had.
But you'd dared me.
So what? If you dared me to take a valuable ring, I wouldn't have done it.
Oh, yes, you would. That was the dare game. We always carried out each other's dares, always.
Oh, Enid, stop. I can't understand why you're still niggling about it all after these years.
It was the injustice. It was never tidied up.
Okay, let's tidy it up now. I'll buy you a present to make amends. Something pretty. A scarf, earrings, what would you like?
Trying to buy me off for the sake of your conscience?
Oh, don't be such a prig.
All right, Carol. Let's go to the shops now and look at the pretty things.
Here's the costume jewellery counter. Now what would you like, Enid? There's some nice earrings on this tray. Oh, where's the assistant?
She doesn't seem to be around.
Oh, well, we can be choosing.
Fee-fi-fo-fum. I sniff the whiff of a dare to come.
Oh, no.
I dare you, Carol, to put that pair of green earrings in your pocket and walk out.
Oh, don't be a damn fool. Look, I've offered to buy you a present. Do you want one or not?
Fee-fi-fo-fum. I sniff the whiff of a
Enid,
dare
stop
to
fooling.
come. For the second time, I dare you, Carol, to put that pair of green earrings in your pocket and walk out. I dare you, Carol. I dare you. Of course you can. I dare you. You can bring them back afterwards. Go on. Take them. Walk out and then come back. I'll wait for you here. And then Honour will be satisfied for good and all.
All right. It's quite mad, but still. Here goes.
Oh, to the manor born. Do you come here often?
Don't watch me as I walk out.
Of course I shan't. I'm going to wait here by the counter. Bye for the present.
If I get caught, I'll blame it all on you. So this is what it feels like to be a thief. I'll never do this again as long as I live. Why am I doing it anyway? School day codes die hard, I suppose, like childhood religion. Enid's mad. Quite mad. Well, then so am I to be doing this. I do believe that all through my life, if anyone says to me, fee-fi-fo-fum, I sniff the whiff of a dare to come, I'd do whatever they said. Nearly at the doors now. All I've got to do is to get outside. That'll complete the dare. Then I can go back. Swing doors. Open. Outside at last. Oh, I've done it. I'll be able to tell John when I get home. Oh, maybe I won't. He'll be furious. Taking a risk like that, he'd say. Oh, now I can go back. Oh, who are you? Take your hand off my arm.
Excuse me, madam, but the manager would like a word with you.
With me? Why?
Please come this way, madam.
But who are you?
I'm the store detective, madam.
Oh, dear.
But come along, through these doors.
Wait a minute. Is it the earrings? Well, here they are.
Thank you, madam.
How did you know?
I saw you.
Oh, I remember seeing you now. I thought you were a customer.
That is the general idea. Now, come along, madam, please.
It was only a joke, you know. I'm not a thief. It was a game I was having with a friend. We used to dare each other to do things when we were kids. The dare game, we used to call it. She dared me. It was a joke. She'll tell you. Oh, Enid.
What's up, Carol?
This lady's a detective. She saw me. Enid, please tell her about the dare game.
The what?
Tell her that you dared me to take the earrings for a joke.
You took some earrings?
Well, you know I did.
I'm sorry, Carol. I don't approve of shoplifting, even when my friends do it. Leave me out of this.
Now, your friend obviously can't help you, madam, so will you come and see Mr. Marlin, the manager, straight away, please?
But But you've got the earrings back
This
now.
way, madam.
Enid!
Come along, madam, please.
All right, but I'm telling the truth. That's exactly what happened, Mr. Merlin. Oh, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. I've never stolen anything in my life, and I did intend to bring the earrings back again. It was just a joke.
Very well, Mrs. Gray. I will accept your explanation. I don't particularly wish to call in the police, but I'd be glad if you keep away from this store in future.
So you don't believe that it was a joke?
As we are taking no action, I don't see why that should matter to you.
But of course it matters. I'm not a thief.
I have a great deal to do, Mrs. Gray, so if you'd care to see yourself out.
Hello. I thought I'd wait for you.
Enid!
How did you get on?
Go away. I don't want to speak to you.
Did you believe you, Carol?
Of course, otherwise I wouldn't be here, would I?
I bet he didn't.
Oh, he let me go.
That doesn't mean he believed you. So now you know what it feels like. Not very pleasant, is it?
Enid, will you clear off and leave me
Oh,
alone?
poor Carol. Have I spoiled your nice morning shopping in town?
You've done more than spoil it. The whole thing makes me feel quite sick. Frankly, I think you've gone off your head. Enid, how could you have behaved like that? You deliberately lied in the shop.
You're so right. But I did more than lie. You haven't looked at me properly.
Looked at you?
Yes, have a good look.
Those earrings you're wearing. I saw them on the tray in the shop. Did you buy them?
No.
Then how did you get them? You stole them.
Yes. It's evidently something I do better than you. All a matter of practice. I started young, you see, when I took the ring.
Oh, no, Enid, you can't blame everything on a childhood dare. And I don't think pinching things in shops is funny or clever.
From one who's just been nabbed by a store detective, I find that remark rather comic.
Do you often take things?
Whenever I'm in the mood.
Don't you ever get caught?
I was once in a different town when I was less skillful than I am now.
And what happened?
I wasn't as lucky as you've been today. The manager sent for the police and charged me. But I engaged a good solicitor, and he engaged an advocate to defend me, and he found a psychiatrist who said it was all due to my frustrations. He got me off.
You paid people to tell lies for you?
Lies? My dear Carol, every word that psychiatrist said was true. It is my frustrations that make me swipe things from shops. I have a perfectly good salary. I could afford to buy anything within reason. But it's so much more exciting to steal things. Women with empty lives have to make their own excitement, you see. It's different for you. You have your husband and children. Don't grudge me my hobby.
Hobby?
Certainly. And I owe it to you, really. If it hadn't been for the dare game, I'd never have got started. And if you had cleared my name in those far-off days, I might never have realised that it's not what one does that matters, it's what people believe about one. You are now regarded as a shoplifter. You won't be welcome in that store again, but I can go in whenever I like. So now I'll say goodbye, Carol. It's been so nice meeting you and tidying everything up.
Margaret Woolfit and Shirley Cooklin in The Dare Game by Rosemary Timperley, produced for the BBC by Keith Williams.